What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the FallenRedZeo. I am Zeo, back with more Marvel Legends, and this time we're doing the X-Men movie series. So Marvel Legends recently released these movie series sets, so we finally get characters from the Fox X-Men movie, so pretty cool. So first up here, we've got a Magneto and Professor Xavier, and this is a pretty cool set because it not only comes with the young versions from the newer series of X-Men, but we also get the originals. So we get James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender, but then we also get Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. So very cool that they kind of combine both of those sets together to give us both the young and old versions. So it's kind of like an X-Men Days of Future Past set. And then we also get three more characters where we have Mystique, which is pretty cool, from like the first X-Men movie, so Rebecca Romijn version. And then we get two Wolverines, of course, both Hugh Jackman. So two very cool looking Wolverines. Of course, this is kind of like your more classic Wolverine. And then one, of course, with just the white tank top on. And this is, I believe, an Amazon exclusive one, so we were able to pick that up, and that's pretty cool. I'm glad that they finally made some of the Fox X-Men movie characters, because these are always some that were missing from sets, and I'm always like, I'm surprised they haven't made them, you know, with being X-Men and everything. But of course, with the rights to the movies and the whole Marvel stuff being separated, but now back together, we are finally getting some of these. So of course, we got these and Deadpool, so the Deadpool characters will be coming up in a future video. But I hope you're excited to look at these figures with me. If you are, be sure to leave a thumbs up on the video. But let's go ahead and get into these characters. So here we're starting off with the Magneto and Xavier 2-pack. So this is pretty cool again, and we have bought two of them so that we could do the old and young versions at the same time. So that's pretty cool, and you can see on these I have the young and old, young and old. So that was the whole reason for us getting two of them. I think we'll start with Magneto first. Let's move Charles out of the way. So here we got our Magnetos, and again, obviously they're going to be all exactly the same, except for in these versions I switched the heads out. But if we look at like the Michael Fassbender one here first, so there's a look at his face. I don't think the Michael Fassbender, I don't think just the young versions in general look that great for these figures. I don't think they did as great of a job with the look of them, but they don't look horrible. But there's a look at his face in the Magneto helmet, of course, like the original Magneto helmet, you know, they got from Sebastian Shaw in X-Men First Class and everything. It's just all painted red this time, so that looks pretty cool there as well, and on his face. And of course he's gritting his teeth and his eyes are there, and it is all kind of like blurry and dotted and stuff. I doubt you can see that, but that obviously tells us that they did do the photoreal type stuff, which, like I said, doesn't really look too great, so it's kind of surprising. He's in like a dark red maroonish color outfit. It's kind of hard to tell on the front here, like the armor plates almost look like a gold or brown color, but then the actual like suit itself does look like a maroon, and it has a nice texture to it that you can see there, and the armor has some metallic into it, so it is nice and shiny and everything, which is cool. He has the cape there around his neck, which unfortunately the box kind of bends up on this side. It did it on both of them. Right in this area, it kind of like bend it in, so that's a little annoying, but it just hangs there off the back. And again, it's in like a little bit of a brown color, maybe a maroonish. It's kind of hard to tell, but it has a little bit of a texture look to it there as well, and it's a dark color on the inside of it. Then he's just got black gloves on there, as you can see, and then black leather pants that have some detailings in it all the way down to the boots that are just all black as well. So again, these are the exact same, just different faces. So here is the Ian McKellen version. Again, I think the old people look a lot better, and then of course his Magneto helmet, which looks a lot different. I think it looks really dorky and everything, especially when it was on him. It just looked really bad. You can see his ear sticking out there off the side, but it's still nice that they incorporated that into this figure. But for his movements though, we'll go ahead and twist his head all the way around. He can look down and look up really high. His shoulders are real stiff, but they come up about 90 degrees there, and of course can rotate around within there, but the cape's in the way. He's got the bicep twist and a double elbow joint that comes up that far, and then the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get that crunch, so he can go back about that far and forward that far, so not a whole lot of range, but then we also have the twist in there as well. His legs come up 90 degrees out to the side about that far. He's got a thigh twist thing. He's got a double knee joint that bends all the way up that far. Twist at the top of the boot there that goes all the way around, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. And for accessories to go along with the figure, of course, you do have the heads that you can switch out there, so you can choose either the old version or the young version. He comes with extra hands, so I went ahead and put the hands on each one. So the young Magneto here has both like open hands, like, you know, he's pulling metal and like making himself float and everything, so that's pretty cool. And then he also comes with the fist hands, which the old Magneto has on. And finally is the unmasked head, so there's a look at the two. So again, like I said, the Michael Fassbender I don't think looks that great at all, but the Ian McKellen does look pretty spot on. His hair does look a little bit too poofy, but I still think the face looks really good on him. I think it looks more realistic than the Michael Fassbender one, but still not too bad. But you can obviously choose to do the unmasked versions if you did not want the helmets on. But then that leaves us with the two Charles Xaviers, and again, they're the exact same figure, just different head swaps. So here we have the young version, which again, James McAvoy, I don't think looks like him at all. I think this is probably the worst one. I don't think they did a really good job on his face at all. It just looks really weird overall, but the rest of the body's pretty nice. You know, he's just in an all blue suit, which is pretty standard for Charles, you know, just being in a suit. So he's got the all blue suit on, he's got a blue vest, white button shirt with a brown tie, blue slacks, and then black shoes. So overall, he looks really nice in his outfit. And then we've got the Patrick Stewart version, which again, I think the face looks really good. They did a much better job on him. him. It looks very realistic. The only thing is with this figure, the way his head goes on, his neck was really tall, and you can see there's a lot of space up in there. So I feel that his neck is just really long, and so it needs to go down in more, but it's all the way on as much as it'll go. So I don't like the way that looks too much. It's a little bit annoying, but I still, with the face though, think it looks overall better, especially compared to the James McAvoy one. But let's go ahead and look at the movements here. So there's the head that can twist all the way around. He can look down that far, up that far, so pretty good there. His shoulders do come up about 90 degrees. It's hard with the shoulder pads there on it, but 90 degrees, and can rotate around. He's got the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that comes up that far, so it can completely fold up on itself, so that's really good. And then the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. I assume he has an ab crunch up in there somewhere, but obviously with his outfit you can't really see, but you can get him to kind of crunch forward a little bit back and forth. And then he has a twist right at the waist. His legs come up 90 degrees out to the side pretty far. Thigh twist there, and a double knee joint that can come up and almost kick his own butt. And then the foot can flex back and forth just a little bit there, and then twist side to side. And then he comes with the same wheelchair that we already did on the channel here, that came with the Logan set with Charles and Wolverine. So it's the exact same wheelchair, brown seat, and then the big wheels, of course, that can spin. The front wheels that don't spin, has little foot pads there and everything. And of course you could put Charles in it and then have somebody on the back to be able to push him along and everything, but we'll just use it to put them to sit in. And for his accessories, he of course comes with the two different heads there, so you can switch between the old man or the young man. And then the hands, we have the different ones here. So on the old man here, we just have the open palm hand, so like he's doing something with his hand, or like the concerned one, so you can make it like he's just concerned there, or just a grip hand if you want. And then with the young version, he just has kind of like an open hand there, and then the hand with the fingers to his head, like he's using his powers. So those are the different options you can choose between the two different Xaviers. So overall, that's a pretty cool pack, again, that you can switch between the old or the young. Obviously they're designed more in the young versions, but again, I hate the faces on them, so I choose to make them the old versions instead. So obviously you'll just have to take and mix and match pieces and stuff, and just get the character design exactly how you want if you didn't get to like we did. And then next up, we got Mystique from like the original X-Men movies. Again, Rebecca Romaine Stamos played her, so not the Jennifer Lawrence version, but I think it looks pretty good overall. Of course, she is all blue. She has the scaling skin covering up her parts. Since this version, she's pretty much naked all the time, and then she has her red hair that's all slicked back, and you know, whatever, with like gel or something that makes it slick back all the way like that to the end there where it's kind of sticking up. But like with this figure, there's not really a whole lot to look at. She's just, you know, an all blue character. So if we look at her face there, it looks pretty good. Again, I like all those scaling and stuff all over the face, and her yellow eyes there look pretty dark and menacing. And again, the scaling just continues all over her body, down her arms, especially her back there is just all covered in a darker blue color. And I like how the difference, so it's like where it just be like her normal skin, it's just like a real light blue, and then of course the darker blue scaling over the top, and then when it gets really thick scaling like on the back and stuff, it's just completely dark blue. So you can see that continues all the way down her body to her feet, which I actually think the feet look pretty good. I usually hate Marvel Legend bare feet characters, but hers actually look pretty neat. So for Mystique's movements, her head can twist all the way around there. She can look down that far, up that far. Of course, her hair gets in the way. Her shoulders do come up over 90 degrees and can rotate around. This one's really loose for some reason. She then has the single elbow joint that comes up there a little bit over 90 degrees and has the twist in it, and then her wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. She then has an ab crunch right under her chest there, so she can crunch forward and crunch back. Again, not a whole lot of range movement, but she does twist there as well. Her hips come up 90 degrees there and out to the side pretty far. She's got the thigh twist and a double knee joint that bends all the way up that far, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. And for her accessories, I'm kind of surprised she didn't come with an extra head to make it more like the Jennifer Lawrence version. She doesn't come with that, unfortunately, but she does come with this arm here that is a bare arm up to the shoulder, so it can be like her powers where obviously she's changing into a different character, so she's changing into like another female, so that's pretty cool. But it's just a bare arm, it's not enough to really do anything different, so I don't think it's that special. And then she comes with two extra hands, so obviously she has a fist hand and like an open hand as well. She comes with the opposite fist hand and opposite open hand as well. So really there's not a whole lot for Mystique. She comes with just a few accessories, but at least we do have a movie version of Mystique in our set now. And next up, we've got our first Wolverine figure, and I've been trying to decide with these figures what movie exactly these characters are from, and it's kind of hard to tell. You know, he's looked pretty much the same in all the movies, so it's hard to tell between the two. But to me, when I first saw this, I assumed it was from X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then looking at the pictures and everything, it looks like this is what that is because his outfit matches exactly. Especially if you look at this scene where he's walking down the road in the daytime and the helicopter crashes behind him and everything like that, like I guess classic scene from that movie. He has this outfit on that matches exactly, but I did see looking at pictures, he did wear a similar outfit in the very first X-Men movie, but the only slight difference is in the first X-Men movie, he did have a denim jacket on underneath the leather coat, and he doesn't have that here, so it does match more with X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is fine with me. I think it looks cool either way. So here we've got a look at Wolverine or Logan. I don't like this face on him. You know, I do think it looks like Hugh Jackman. You know, this one's not exactly. The other head we'll see in a second does look much better. But I think with the open mouth, like yelling and stuff, the teeth are just like throw everything off because of the teeth, you know, have the dark black lines in between each one. So it's like he's got real nasty teeth and everything. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Of course, around the face, it is all like blotchy and everything since they did use the face scan technology. But I think those sideburns and the hair just look really good for Wolverine, especially at the point in the movie and everything. So I think that looks really good. He has the brown leather jacket over the top, which I really like that looking at it in this version that you don't really notice in the movie. That of course goes with like his classic colors of the brown and like yellow outfit. So you get the brown leather with the yellow stripes and the yellow stripes there on his side and stuff. So very much reminds me of his very first Wolverine outfit. And then underneath he has like a flannel shirt there in red, white, and blue colors, and then the white tank top on underneath. Then he's got jeans on with a brown belt with a belt buckle there of a Native American head. And again, the jeans on that are all dirty and stuff have dirt all over the front of them. And then I assume to be brown biker boots there on his feet. And of course, the most important thing for Wolverine is his Wolverine claws. So again, they're using the newer Wolverine claws, which I love so much more. So they are much thicker. They don't bend as much. Obviously, this one's a little bit off, but they don't bend up as much and get like destroyed in the boxes and everything. But they're much thicker, have the nice curves to them and everything. Just super good looking Wolverine claws. So for his movement, so his head there can twist all the way around. He can look down. He can look up just about that far. So not a whole lot of range in the neck. His shoulders come up 90 degrees, and he does have a butterfly joint in there. It's hard to see with the jacket, but he does have a little bit of a butterfly joint. And of course, the shoulders can rotate around. Then he's got the bicep twist and a double elbow joint that only bends up that far. And then the wrist that can twist around and flex back and forth. Up in there, he does have the ab crunch, so you can crunch that far forward, just back a little bit. So pretty decent movement. Twist all the way around at the waist. Legs come up 90 degrees there, out to the side pretty far. Thigh twist all the way around. Then he's got a double knee joint that can kick his own butt, so that's pretty cool. And then the foot that flexes back and forth just a little bit. Because the pants leg, the foot can't move too much, but it does also twist all the way around. Like the ball joint up in here does twist all the way around, so that's pretty cool. And then again, has that little bit of rock back and forth. And then of course, a twist side to side of the foot. So overall, I really love the look of this Wolverine. I think it just matches him perfectly from the movies and just looks amazing. But like I said, he does have a different head, so he does have this head where he's not screaming and everything. And I think this looks really good. It looks really spot on to Hugh Jackman and everything. I think this is a much better looking face overall. You know, it's pretty much exactly the same, just doesn't have the open mouth screaming, but just looks so much better. And then of course, if you don't want the claws, which why would you not want the claws for Wolverine, he does come with 2 fist hands as well. So overall, not a bad Wolverine, and I think for movie versions, this is probably like the best version you could probably get. I think he just looks so good in every way. Like I said, I'll probably switch the heads out, but other than that, I think this is like the perfect Wolverine. And then our last figure is the Amazon exclusive Wolverine, which again, I think is from X-Men Origins Wolverine, because if you look at especially like the cover of the box, he looks exactly like this in this exact same outfit with the tank top, the pants, you can see the belt buckle there, everything just matches exactly. And then of course that is where we kind of like got introduced to his bone claws, which he has here, which is awesome. But again, with Wolverine, he looks pretty much the same through all the movies and stuff, so you could make this from any of them because he wears a tank top a lot in him. And I think this could especially be from like Days of Future Past when he gets transported back in time, because at that point he still has the bone claws and everything. But it's pretty cool. So there's of course a look at his face. Again, I think Hugh Jackman spot on. I think this is actually the best looking one so far. I just think it looks so much like him in the face. But again, has the sideburns, even has all the sorts of little stubble there around his face, like up on his lip and on his chin and everything. So that's pretty cool. And of course his hair is being all swept back. He's got the little strand there in the front, but it's being swept back with the 2 points coming out on the sides there, which I think is really cool. Then of course there he's got his dog tags there around his neck, of course from his time in the service. The white tank top that's got like a bunch of yellowish into it as well. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got striped with yellow, so it's kind of a dirtier tank top. Then the exact same pants as the last figure, has the brown belt with the Native American head, and then the same pants, just instead of like the dirt on it, it's got like a fadedness, so it's like faded blue jeans there, which is really nice looking overall. Nice blue jean pants there, and then the same brown boots on his feet. And then as mentioned already, of course the biggest thing with this is that he's got his bone claws, which are really weird. They feel really thin and flimsy, so I feel these could break really easily. Just like the material just feels really weird about them, that they feel like they could just easily break, and I don't trust them too well, so I have to be definitely careful with the bone claws. But it still looks really cool though. So for his movement, it's going to be the exact same as the other figure, just obviously without all the clothing on to hinder him. But his head can twist all the way around there. He can look down and look up, again not too well. But then we go to his shoulders, where he's got the butterfly joint, and the shoulder comes up 90 degrees and can rotate around. But then we got the bicep twist and a double elbow joint that comes up that far, and the wrist that can twist around and flex back and forth. You can see his ab crunch right there, so you can crunch that far forward, that far back, so pretty good movements in there. Twist right at the waist, hips come up 90 degrees, out to the side that far, thigh twist all the way around, double knee joint that bends up that far, he can kick his own butt, and then the foot flex back and forth a little bit again and can twist all the way around with that ball joint up in there, and then of course twist side to side as well. So again, another great looking Wolverine. But for his accessories, so if you don't want the bone claws, he does come with the extra hand with the actual metal claws there, so you can switch those out as well. So again, it can make him pretty much from any movie, or if this is from X-Men Origins Wolverine, it'd be more from like the end of the movie where he's got the actual metal claws in him now. And then he comes with the extra head there, but it looks pretty much exactly the same, has the exact same design, just obviously with the different expression on the face. So again, another great version of Wolverine. So between the two that we got today, you have pretty much the exact perfect Wolverine. You could just choose whichever one you want, maybe switch out some of the heads, but they definitely be like the definitive Wolverine. So there's all the Fox X-Men Marvel Legend figures, and I think it's pretty cool. There's obviously so many more characters they could continue on with this line. I mean, we've only got 4 here of Charles, Magneto, Wolverine, and Mystique, so obviously there's so many more characters we could get in this set. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool set. I think all the characters look really good. Like I said, my only issues are the younger versions of Xavier and Magneto. Other than that, all the characters I think look really good and spot on to how they appear in the movie. And I even kind of set them up here with like my versions. So I have like the young versions, like the Days of Future Past version, and then more like the original X-Men movies and everything with the older versions over here. So overall, I think it's a pretty cool set, and I really enjoyed these a lot. But let me know what you thought of them down in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a thumbs up for me. And if you enjoyed so much, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But thank you all for watching this video. I hope you stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next video.